And welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. Welcome, my Instagram fans. You did start a minute early, and things are working. I'm happy. Welcome, my YouTube and my Facebook fans. And my, as you know, you can type in, you can call in, you could hit the show, and I'm sure my number's popping up, 646-974-1580. Call into the show, 646-974-1580, and you can ask me any question. Yes, I'm here by myself again. I like doing the show myself. I have a lot to say. George is not feeling well anyway, so he couldn't make it today. As you know, Tom is on hiatus. I miss that guy. I really like Tom. Tom, if you hear me, I love you. And Nicole is out for a while, or she's really needs a little bit of time to herself. So, again, Heshy's always here for you. Heshy will always be here for you. And Heshy can always be called. And, of course, you know, we're going to have a lot to talk about during the show. Of course, we're going to talk about Trump. We're going to talk about some local politics. Everybody says to me, Heshy, why do you talk about local politics so much? It's not about local politics. It's not about international politics. It's the politics of the day. It's the things that bother me. It's the things that I want to know about. And who is that? Welcome. Thank you. Good to see you, Heshy. Welcome. Thank you so much, dear Imperium. I want you to know something. I am a fan of man. It's a very famous saying from The Devil's Advocate, a movie with Al Pacino. Even though I hate Robert De Niro now, we'll talk about that as well. But you know what? I love people. I love being around people. You know, people say to me, oh, Heshy, you need celebrity status. I don't need celebrity status. I've been around. I've been doing advocacy for 40 years. I've been going to courts. I've been taking people out of jail. You know, I want to tell you something. I met recently, a couple of years ago, maybe about 3-4 years ago, the son of Sam in Schwagerhang prison. I didn't go to see him. I went to see somebody else, and then I took the assemblyman. We went around, and I got to see him. And yes, this guy murdered people and scared the whole city of New York. He has more fan mail than you could ever imagine. People send him money. People want to marry him in jail. He was just up for parole in 2002, started before he got 25 to life. And now he's up for parole every 2 years, and they just denied him again. Here's a man, and he says he's remorseful. I know he was crazy. He didn't take his medicine. He heard the dog talk. My point I'm trying to make to you is I've been involved with people. I've been involved since a kid being injured. I'm involved now with our local day-to-day politics and screaming, and not only New York City, around the country, around the world. Things upset me. You know, these college students that think that they could come with... I watched a bunch of these college students taking over a campus, and they had signs. Beautiful, well organized. There's no way these kids that have no money to even pay their rent or tuition or barely get by on a daily basis are able to make these signs and organize and sit outside without somebody throwing their money at them. Don't they see how they're being abused? I don't know, guys. So that's my complaints to you. I'm trying to teach you to fight back. It's time to create our own force and army. And I think about this all the time. How I'm going to get back to these people. How am I going to stop? Why isn't the police arresting these people? Why? Why you two people? Call into the show, 646-974-1580, 646-974-1580. If you want to talk to me, you don't have to. I have a lot to talk to you about. And I just want you to know something. We are not going to allow this. This is going on too long. Sooner or later, we're going to get upset. And that's why there are these mass shootings. People get disturbed, you know. Today, there was a terrorist attack in Canarsie, New York, right here in my neighborhood. Now, somebody called it a terrorist attack. Was it a terrorist attack? Was it a hate crime? I'm going to talk to you about that. And all of these issues that come up in our communities. And it's not only the Jewish community, the black community, the Asian community, you know. Anyways, welcome my listeners from WNEW FM. Welcome to the show, and of course WPVLID and WNEW WSNR 620 AM of our New York listeners. I want to start our show, and we're going to start our show with a lot to listen to. But I want to start our show with a little commercial for Green Line Building Compliance. It's my company, located at 202 Foster Avenue, Brooklyn, New York 11230, 718-871. 871-0382. This week, it's only Wednesday. I had 6 people shut down their jobs and vacated. Stop work orders. Foolish things. You're right, they broke the rules. But you know what? Theoretically, what the building department has done to one of them was just hold back his job, a small little job, for 7 months. He did some work. He couldn't control himself. He's paying $6,000 a month mortgage. They gave him a $6,000 fine plus a $5,000 fine. And we filed the plans and so on and so forth. It's costing money. This is what our city does. It tortures us. They throw a congestion pricing at us. You know that we're going to get tickets. Our plates weren't seen, or our plates were seen, or we didn't pay the ticket, or we didn't pay the toll, and we'll get arrested and a fine. Again, Green Line Building Compliance or Solutions or Developers, 202 Forest Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. My number is 718-871-0382. I fight your violations. I get your building open and running. I file plans, permits, architectural. My job is to fight the city from top to the bottom, and I help you all the time. If you have any issues with your house, with your rents, or with judges and so on, 718-871-0382. I'm not going to make it more complicated, but I am running for city council. And I've been talking to all my clients. I do a lot of freebie work. I do a lot of constituent services. And I tell people, you don't have to pay me. I'm giving you free services. When I'm in the street, I hand out my card. People stop me. Yesterday, I was at a wedding. I sat quietly, and people were just coming over to me for advice. And I hand out my card. I said, give me a donation. Give me a donation. I got 10 donations. And I hope they question me, because I'm trying to get donations not just from groups anymore where I go speak. I get donations from different people, different communities I want it to pop up. And that's what I want to do. So I want you to donate to HeshyDishler.com. Go to the HeshyDishler.com website. Donate $10. Donate $25. I know that here's my problem. What they're doing now is Mr. Simcha Felder, State Senator Simcha Felder, who has done nothing in the last 10 years. I don't care what he wants to do in the Senate, even though he was once a Democrat, then he went to Republican, he's back to Democrat, and now I hear my Republicans are going to back him because he has more power. The man has done nothing. He's coming back to the city council, a job that he ran away from, and now here's my local politics. That he did nothing. In the middle of a job, he quit. How do you quit in the middle of a job? Because he got a better job. Okay, got more money. He went to be controller. Then he quit controller because he wasn't happy, so he went to become a senator. Now he's going to leave the Senate, which is a higher position, to come back to city council so he doesn't have to travel, so he can get his pension. These are what these guys do. They sit there forever. Kalman Yeager sits there forever. Now he's assemblyman. I'm proud. I hope he does something. He's a young guy still in his 50s. You have people that sit there forever, like Miss Weinstein, that was assemblywoman for 46 years. Yeah, she donated some money to the JCC and to all her local friends, but not to my community. She gave to the people that filled out their forms and kissed her behind for years, but not to the community that needed it for special needs. I was in the hospital the other day, and I heard somebody crying and screaming. And I went to him, I said, what's wrong? He said, I can't go to the bathroom. I can't go to the bathroom. I said, let me help you. He says, no, you don't understand. I can't go to the bathroom. I didn't know what to say to him. I asked the nurse. She says he has some inner problems, gastritic problems. Do you know how simple, how beautiful life is? How beautiful life is, that just going to the bathroom is a gift. And we don't even understand how that is. So I'm going to start my show with a quote. And here's my quote. I choose to make the rest of my life the best of my life. By Robert Frost. And in 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned in my life. It goes on. Experience is the hardest kind of a teacher. It gives you the test first and the lessons afterwards. I want you to know life is simple. You wake up in the morning, it goes on, people die, people get hurt. They put vaccines into us illegally. They controlled us. I fought them. Life goes on. But now we're allowing them to control us in a new way. After Donald Trump became president, after he lost the election, or they stole the election, whatever you want to call it, Biden took over. Our economy collapsed. He shut down the gas lines. He took away pipelines. He took away so much. Our economy collapsed. 4 years later, the market is back up almost to where it was when, or a little bit higher where it was when Donald Trump left. By him doing everything and putting everything back to where Donald Trump was doesn't mean he did a great job. We suffered, and he brought it back up. And the people who were successful were those people who took advantage of the situation. There are people still hungry. You know, they're giving now Maimonides Hospital $750,000 grant for abortions or something. Now, I have a question for you. This is a hospital that killed 1,400 people during COVID. I witnessed it. I was there, how they mistreated. I'm a volunteer there. They mistreated these 1,400 people. People died because they were not given just a simple medicine that worked all the time. Because some pig like Cracamo, who told them not to give them medicine and hold harmless from killing these people. A man comes to the hospital, you got to take care of him. You got to give him any medicine, even experimental. They stopped it till the vaccine came out, and the vaccine was no good. This is my point. We have people in politics and policies fighting. I fought them. I fought them for my community and as much as I can for the New York City, and I sued them. But the point is, how much can you fight? How much can one do? I had people joining the cause. I had people coming to the protests. We did the weddings. But the police, they switch sides every minute. I love the police. But you know the police are not going to endorse me. You know why? Because they have to endorse a winner. And Simcha Feld is the winner who will be supported. Not the person who's right. Not the person that has helped the police many times, or when they've come for my help, or when they needed personal things to be done, I help them privately. They want to just do it for themselves too. I love the police. But you know what the police are busy with now? Closing down illegal marijuana shops. Murders, rapes, people being pushed in the train, accidents on the street. People have to sit for 2 hours to wait for a police officer, 3 hours, because the police officers and the sheriffs are busy doing what? Closing down marijuana shops. Marijuana is legal. What do you mean they're illegal? It's legal, right? Anybody could grow it and sell it. Oh, you need a license. That's what you're busy with? License and permits? Murders, rapes, killings. Today in Canarsie, a guy drove into Canarsie, Brooklyn. Tried to run over a bunch of kids from a school, screaming all the Jews should die and be killed. Tried to run them over a few times, not just run away. They finally captured him and took him out. You think anything is going to happen to him? They're going to let him go. They're not even going to call it a hate crime. The guy who came after me to my house got a year after he beat up 3 other people. This is how New York City is. But Donald Trump, who paid off somebody not to embarrass his family from a drug addict, porn star, or said something sexual, didn't touch the lady, got sued for $83 million. But you have kids in a campus. You have a congresswoman, Talib, that says, shut down Israel, kill the Jews, intifada. You know, I posted a video today of a guy going around asking people and saying, I'll give you $100. What does from the river to the sea mean? You know, and Palestine will be free. What river, what sea? They didn't know. They didn't know. All they had to do is say the Mediterranean Sea, the Jordan. They had to just say anything. They didn't even know what to say. They're stupid people. So you're telling me they went to a protest they didn't even care about? Let me tell you a joke to make things funny. Maybe I'll make you laugh. You know, I went to the gym with Linda a couple times, and, you know, we're trying to lose some weight. And I was there with an older guy, not an older guy, a guy my age. You know, he was a little older than me, like 69 years old. And we're all working out, and he sees a beautiful young girl. And me and Linda are standing there, and he asks us, he says, what machine do you think I should do to impress that young girl? And Linda answers him, you should try the ATM machine. You know, money to go pay her. I thought that was funny. Anyways, I really thought that was funny. There's no other way he was going to get it. You know, he was trying to flex those muscles. I don't have any muscles either, and I was trying to work on the machine. I did lose some weight, by the way. Donald Trump today was shut down the case of deliberations. For me to get a case through the courts, just an eviction case, 2 years. The guy who attacked me took 3 years till he got to court. 3 years. And then they only gave him a year. Donald Trump, wow, what they did. Plus the case was from 2006. I don't even know what this case is about. And I heard today that the judge told the jury it doesn't have to be a unanimous decision. Sure, it has to be a unanimous decision. To be found guilty, the law says you're guilty of your peers and you have to be unanimous. So I'm hearing now that it is unanimous. We don't even know what it went on, but a lot of people on Twitter were saying that the judge's rules to the jury was just you have to come back with a decision of a majority. I don't believe that for a moment. This is a crazy case, and even so, it's a lower felony. What kind of court? It's a first-time offense. You're given probation. The Secret Service is already figuring out if he gets jail time. What does that mean, jail time? Either way, there won't be no jail time. He gets a right to appeal. So the judge should allow him to stay out on bail. I understand if it was a serious offense. But if this judge puts him in there and doesn't even let him appeal, how do you run such a case so quickly? This is just, you see that it's injustice. You see it. Then you have an idiot like Robert De Niro. The man was married for 30-something years to his wife, wouldn't give his wife money. He divorced. He made hundreds of millions of dollars. The man is in his 80s. What is he going to do with the money? Give it to his one kid, his 3 kids? This is a woman that supported you, that stood by you. I saw you on TV. I support her. She's a black woman. I love her. It's interracial. All that stuff. He went to war. And then all of a sudden he broke up with her. Divorced her. What does he think? He's going to get another young girl? He's so cool. I think Robert De Niro is no good. I did like him in The Godfather, but now I actually don't like him. I saw a couple of his movies. Al Pacino is still my man, but Robert De Niro disgusts me. The man is not competent enough to be anything. Have you ever really seen him do any advocacy? Like State Senator Felder that I was complaining about. He comes to the events. He picks up a bag of onions. He doesn't even serve the people. He doesn't give out food to the poor. He raises $279,000 for an election year for an event with Assemblyman Eichenstein, gives out the money. This event, I'm telling you, costed less than $80,000. Where's the other $200,000? And I went to check. Well, we had to pay the BPJCC, the Brooklyn Borough Park Jewish Community Center, to run the event and to oversee it. Who the hell needed you there? Who needed you to oversee it? There are agents that do it. I know that I hired somebody for a total of $79,000. He was going to be the manager to oversee it, and I was just going to see the details and the money. Where was the rest of the money? Consulting fees, police permits. That's all lies. $200,000 went of our money, or $190,000 went to somebody's pockets. And this is your politicians. And you're going to vote Simcha Felder in. For doing what? I want you to come out on election day. Now they're holding back my election because they're going to call the special election after June 25th. My councilman is going to win, so he should resign his seat. They're telling him now hold on his seat to the end of the year. So the mayor calls a special election in January. We have 45 days to run this election. That means I'm going to spend my money and go against these 2 or 3 or 4 people of Felder. Then 1 week after I win the election or whatever happens, we have to run another election with no money. So we have to collect money, lend money, run a whole new campaign because they won't let us start a secondary campaign. So we have 1 week to run a new campaign because you only get the election for 1 year, special election, so you have to run a new one. And if you don't submit the signatures in time, you can't run and be a councilman again, even though you're the incumbent. These are the games we play. This is why I'm fighting the city. I don't need this. I've done my compliance, and I'm not bragging about myself. I've turned my family over and over and over again. I want to make changes to this city. Now you're going to say to me, Heshy, what can one man do? The City Council of New York City, and listen to me real carefully, YouTube and all you people out there, and from wherever you go, there are 51 members that control this entire city. Okay, in the state, we have an assembly and a senate. Are you listening to me, YouTube? You can write whatever you want. The river to the sea. Israel always be. I love that. That was a comment on YouTube. I love that. And I want you to know something. 51 members control this city. Above that is the mayor. That's it. In the state, you have the assembly, you have the senate, you have the governor. But here we have 51 members. We've got to change these members. When I get up there, I'm going to scream at those 51 members. I'm going to tell them, hey, you're representatives of this city, not to make legislation. You have a $110 billion budget. Let's sit down and roll up our sleeves and do it correctly. Kids are dying. Kids are on the street. Kids are overdosing. Not Jewish kids, not just black kids, not just Asian kids, not just Indian kids. And you have adults and depression and mental illness. But you know what we're worried about? Giving the cops money to close down weed centers. Creating cameras, and you think there's congestion pricing? That money's going 50% to the contractor. I don't know where the other 25%. Is it going to the state? Most likely to the state, like the speeding cameras. I got a speeding a speeding camera on Ocean Parkway the other day. I couldn't believe it. 37 miles an hour in a 25-mile district. It's not true. I'm very careful. But you can't argue with the cameras. You can't argue if it's broken. I have now, they're going around, like I told you, changing water meters. Are you listening to me, guys? Water meters. You know why? Because the water meters are running too fast or too slow, or some people, so now they're changing them because they're not getting their proper money. They're going to increase the water. They charge us for water in New York City. They could charge us a flat fee. They're charging us to the use of water, and they're charging us, and they're raising the prices. And now they're going to figure out a way to shut the water off in your house if you don't pay it. A basic need of life. And you know what? When Biden shut down the gas pipelines and the oil pipelines, because he wanted to make the economy better, now that he's running for re-election, he just released from storage 1 million gallons, 1 million, not a billion, 1 million gallons of oil. Big deal. Big deal. Why? To show the world and try to ease our pain. How long do you think the 1 million gallons will last us? For the summer? Just to make our lives better till he gets through the election. So when he goes on to that debate on June 27 with Trump, look what I did. I opened it up. 9 million, 10 million migrants came through the southern border. Forget how many were criminals. I'm not talking Mexicans. I have no problem. I don't care what religion you are. But they're not being vetted. They're committing crimes. Murders, rape, selling drugs here. I just read yesterday, by the way, you're going to love this, YouTube people, and you're going to love this, WSNR listeners. $430 million worth of drugs were just captured by the Coast Guard. $430 million of drugs coming through the border. I don't know how much more they didn't catch. How is that possible? We should be concentrating on stopping those drugs, because forget the $430 million, how many other hundreds of millions of dollars did get through? How many hundreds of millions of dollars is going to our kids? You're busy closing down weed shops and you should be on the border. These sheriffs should lose all their money. The sheriffs are the biggest losers on the planet. Their job is, when you do have an eviction or you do have an issue, they're supposed to help you collect the money and evict them. They're busy making money for themselves, the people in charge. The marshals as well. Even after you get an eviction, after 2 years, you have to wait 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And if there's anything wrong with the paperwork, you have to do it again. And you have to pay them a fee. For them, it's not enough money. Towing cars is their money. They come to your neighborhood. If you have 2 tickets, they tow the car. So you owe the city $300. Now for them to tow the car, you get a $130 ticket plus another $150 towing. And you don't know what the tickets are. Sometimes they get lost. I hope the young lady... I was at an event the other night. The lady came over to thank me a couple years ago. She was driving. It was the day before Passover, and she got pulled over by a cop. The cop arrested us, and with 2 kids in the car. He said, your license is suspended. She says, how is that possible? He says, you had a ticket, you didn't pay it. She says, I did pay it. Matter of fact, I even have the receipt. Yes, but you have to go down to DMV and turn it back on. So your license is suspended. They called me right away. The husband came down. He picked up the kids. They took her to jail for 1 suspension on a ticket that was somehow misunderstood. They should have kept telling her. And you know what happened? I did get her out on a desk appearance ticket. We went down to court, $50 fine. This is what we're busy with. During COVID, the Department of Buildings was giving health department tickets. Health department was giving sanitation tickets. Sanitation tickets. Sanitation police, I have it on a video, went to arrest somebody to have their store open. COVID was such a fake that if you stood within 6 feet of each other, they gave you thousands of dollars in violations. But you know what? Construction workers for the city or in the street were able to stand next to each other or handle sheetrock less than 6 feet apart. And you really believe the mask was good enough? You know those masks were no good enough. They were trying to do something. That's why the people are walking around with masks to this day and still robbing stores. You want me to complain and complain? I'm not complaining. I'm telling you we can make the changes. We can shut down the agencies that are doing nothing, reorganizing them. Call them in for hearings and say, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You're abusing your privileges. I'm going to tell you a story again. We passed inspection today. Matter of fact, it happened today. I had a guy that was shut down for a fire. Not even a real fire. They shut down his store. They vacated the store and they vacated the building upstairs. We filed plans and permits, which you didn't have to do for minor work, fixed everything, showed proof, inspected the electric, inspected the structure, signed off the jobs, did everything, ordered an inspection. Inspector comes to the building, I swear to you, about 3 hours he kept us there for pictures. You have to bring me light, you have to bring me more light. He says, I had no access to the fire escape. There is no fire escape, you didn't need it. But we'll make one for you, whatever, or we'll move the fire escape for you because the next door neighbor has one. Maybe it was off. We'll put it back on. We show them everything done. He says, we want pictures. I said, but you are here for pictures and you vacated the place. People are not allowed to live there and be there and the owner is not there. Well, we want to come back to the building. I said, for what? To find another reason? Here, you took the pictures. We lost the pictures. Our email was down. This is what the city tells you. This is a game they play. Just so they can make you longer, just so you can pay another fine, just so you file the paperwork again and pay the fees. That's all it was for. Why don't you just tell us this the first time? We would have paid the double fee. They give violations. They're not allowed to. You don't have to register a 1 or 2 family house. If somebody doesn't want to pay you rent, the first thing he does, he calls the city, he makes a 311 complaint. The city inspector comes, if you let him in. My floor is broken, which it's not broken. The hot water is not hot enough. I had a place where the hot water was too hot. Okay, now you get a violation. You can't remove the violation. So the bank says, I'm not going to let you sell the building and hold back a mortgage. The only way to remove the violation, to register the building. But you don't have to register the building. Now you have to register the building, pay the fee, which is not much, $13. Then you need a guy like me for a few $100s. They lose the paperwork. It takes 3 months. Now you can't sell the building for 3 months, and you're paying still mortgages. Finally, when it happens, you value the building, you submit the correction. That takes 3 months, and if you don't have it stamped, they lose it or they didn't get it. This is a game, and I asked the lady, she says, yeah, because we want our fee. The longer it takes, you have to pay us again, or you have to resubmit the fee, or every single time we give you a failure to comply violation, you have to pay again. These are the city, and it's not only Department of Buildings, it's Department of Sanitation. I got a ticket, I swear to God, in my building. And I'm perfect. You should see my garbage. We sweep it every morning, 6 to 8. They gave us a rat violation. We have covers and rats and fixed holes and pictures. He gave us a violation for flying paperwork after 8 o'clock, which we mop every morning, 6 to 8. He says, well, it wasn't cleaned properly. After 8 o'clock, there's still dirt over there. So he gave us a ticket. It's only $50. He thinks I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to fight it. Because for me, it's nothing, because I'm going to sit at the desk that day or postpone it. And while I wait on hold for 3 hours to fight the ticket, I have a defense and pictures. They gave me violations, and I want you to know 51 of them for posting posters. There's no way that one inspector went to 51 different sites and saw my poster, and it wasn't even my poster. I bet you they don't even have pictures and evidence. But all he has to do is say, I saw his poster. And one inspector didn't do it. A couple of people must have complained. They wrote down their addresses, and one guy just typed it in. Another lie. And the judge is going to believe him. But other people and other people posted their posters, and people put up signs for, like even now when we had this event with Mr. Simcha Eichenstein and our senator, they posted posters all over town about this event. They didn't get any tickets. They didn't get any violations. I'm not complaining. I'm telling you there's a double standard, and this is the double standard with Donald Trump. How do you put a president in jail for 34 counts for hush money? You have to prove that he did it to change the election. What he did was he didn't want to embarrass his family. And it's his money. And he didn't take it from campaign. He signed the checks, you're right. But Michael Cohen admitted on the stand that he stole $30,000. A man, he steals money from you, and he lies, and then he unlies. How do you believe him? How do you believe a guy like that? And the judge, what a case. What a case. Anyways, I'm hoping the Trump trial goes well. I'm hoping the verdict is not guilty. I don't want to know what's going to happen, but I don't believe the United States is so even though we have people on Biden's side and the Trump side, and we have the leftists and the rightists, I don't believe that we're going to stand together and defend this man. A man he doesn't care. He's 75, 76, 77, makes no difference to him. Even if he has to do jail time, he's president of the United States. What will he do, 4 months? Michael Cohen, who stole money, lied to the grand jury, did a total of 6 months. What are we going to give President Trump? What are we going to give him? For holding back a blackmailer. You didn't rape her. She's a porn star. She owes him $500,000 now, and nobody's going to collect it for him. Where are you, sheriffs and marshals? Why aren't you helping him collect the money? You know, America is free speech, and you're right, the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, all your amendments, freedom of speech, freedom to be quiet, can't come in the Fourth Amendment, all of that stuff. But it does not allow you to threaten somebody else. And when you go say kill the Jews or hate the Jews or destroy America, that is illegal. You want to burn the flag? Okay, I can't do nothing about that. You don't want to believe in America? You don't want to bow or you don't want to take off your hat during the national anthem and all that? Fine. But you have no right to say death to America. You are scaring us. You are a terrorist. You could want to blow up the World Trade Center. You could want to shoot people in the streets. We have mass shootings constantly. Death to America. Death to the Jews. That's worse than a hate crime. That is jail time. If I went over to you and said, I want to kill you, you go to the police. They will come and question me or arrest me. I was joking around with that idiot de Blasio, who got me arrested. And there's a guy, Ringel, who worked for him, is going to be running against me. Here's a guy who told the people, including our assemblyman, you better wear masks or you're going to jail. He ratted on us. I'm not ranting and raving here, guys. It's the truth. And you know what happened? You know what happened? He's running for city council. We're going to vote him in. He tortured all his own people. And now because the mayor is scared and threatening because he wants to help him and all these people want money, they're going to give it to him. So do we really care every time somebody comes to me, what do you think about Trump? What do you mean? Do you support him? If he gets arrested, will you go out there and protest? Or will you be scared because the mayor is going to take away a few of your dollars? That's what you're scared of. I'm not scared of that. And that's my point. These are the people that we must support Donald Trump. We must make sure that he's elected. He did a great job. You don't like his personal things. I don't like, I had a young lady that came into my office today. Not a young lady, a little bit older, in her late 40s, and she was wearing a mini skirt. Came into the office, whatever, and I made a comment. I said, it's too short. Are you a lady? Oh, why are you questioning me? I said, because I'm looking. I said, I have to look because you're walking right by my office 2-3 times, and I don't think it's appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate for me. Don't look, Heshy. I'm not looking. I'm trying not to look. I go to the beach. Don't think for a moment I don't go to the beach and see half of the women, whatever the way they would dress. My point I'm trying to tell you is don't coerce somebody else. I don't really care how you live. But as long as you act like a normal person, this lady is really a very nice lady. I made a comment. I know what Donald Trump did with young girls. He was a playboy. How many people out there are playboys? How many people, when they get to middle age and they're married for 30, 40 years, cheat on their wife? Half of America, they're saying. I'm shocked when I hear those numbers. Shocked. I have a different way of thinking. I have a different way of working my brain. I have a different way of, I have the same, I have the same insecurities as everybody else. I have the same demons in me. Don't you think I want to do things as well? I want to party. I want to go drinking. I want to go hang out, but I control myself. I don't want to go on the street and robbing. Don't you think I would love to go to a bank, go behind the teller counter and take $100,000 and go spending it? Don't you think I'd love to go water skiing and I don't even want to talk bad. Everybody wants to do it. I'm a religious Jewish man. Of course, I believe in God, and I have to control myself. I believe in the 10 Commandments because without those commandments, we'd be running around crazy. There's a reason those commandments were created. And the Bible has those commandments and the Quran and all of them. but we abuse it. We sometimes preach stupid stuff. So by saying kill the Jews, Tlaib should be thrown out of Congress. I don't know how to get rid of her. AOC, what is wrong with you, New York City, Bronx people? Get rid of her. She's a sick woman. Do you know that she, again, I'm going to keep reminding you, she shut down Amazon. $25 billion could have been brought to the city of New York. $25 billion. 25% of our budget. Forget the trickle-down effect. Another $10 billion. All the new housing. Your complaint there's not enough housing? They would have built it. They would have built low-income housing. And this is what you do to us? And we elect her again. I don't know what's wrong with us. I don't know what's wrong with us. Help me. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Anyways, I told you about Maimonides getting money, and I want to tell you why I'm happy about Maimonides getting money. They went $145 million in debt last year. Here's a hospital that's always packed, getting insurance money, getting private people's money. I know what's going on there. I see that all the time. How do you fall $135 million in the hole? And then how do you give the CEO a $3 million raise? How do you pay a lot of those people in the millions of dollars, but the doctors, you try to penny pinch them, and the nurses. Nurses have to fight for a raise. The doctors have to fight for a raise, but all the administration people are getting money. I met an administration lady. I don't want to say her name. She's getting $250,000. She's the most unqualified person to be there. Yeah, she knows how to do the books, take the phone calls, and be tough for the CEO and not approve anything. Anyways, those are the things that I have to tell you about our city. You know, under Biden, our economy is in trouble. Now, I understand that New York City is not New York State is not a red state, even though we came close to getting a New York State red governor, Lee Zeldin. And the people that stopped it wasn't the people from out upstate. It was the New Yorkers themselves, the people from New York City. Are you really happy with Kathy Hochul? Are you really happy with her? I like Mayor Adams because I think he's a very nice man, even though he's a Democrat. I guess I might have to become a Democrat again because it doesn't really make a difference, Democrat, Republican, because I see a lot of my Republican leaders, they are double crosses. They promised not to go against me again, and now they might support Simcha Felder, who's a Democrat, who's never done anything, because he's going to throw them a few dollars. And this is our problem. Backstabbing, backdoor politics, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to them. They call me into meetings, and they tell me crazy stuff. I said, this is not the right way of doing things. They don't care. This is the way we run things. We told you we'd support you, but you have to toe the line, Heshy. Toe the line? Really toe the line? We have issues in this city, not only this city, in this country. You know, I talk about sex trafficking. We have that in New York City. Kids are being kidnapped. People don't even know that. We have people being sex trafficked. I understand you want to be a prostitute, but it bothers me. But okay, fine. You can't control it if you're older. But there are people that are doing it against their wills. People begging to come to this country and willing to do whatever it takes. I understand. To do whatever it takes. I know that's a bad thing, but sometimes we have no choice. We have no choice. Donald J. Trump, I love you. Not as a personal person. I loved you as president of the things that you care about other people. He's done so much good in his life. You're busy and worried that he slept around. He had some issues with women. Like I told you, half of America, half of New York City, half of the men cheat on their wives. I know it's a bad number that I'm telling you, but it happens. So do women. And it's not right. It's not right. I'm not saying it's right, but they do it. Today in America, we accept it. Today in America, we accept people doing weed on the street. The city, the government approved it. Today in America, in Las Vegas, prostitution is legal. Not only there, I think in other places. Nobody questions it. Nobody stops it. Children on the street out of school Oh, big deal. Then if some child does something wrong because the school they can't control the kids, what happens is we blame the parents. And we arrest the parents, we put the parents in jail if one of these children are not controlled right. The parents have no time to raise children. I know what it is. I've raised many children. And I know what it is to be on top of them. And even then, you're not there all the time. And you can lose a kid. And what happens when the kid does something bad? Remember, the parents have to work 2 jobs today. You know? I know that the black New Yorkers, the African-American New Yorkers are coming around. I hope it's just not 17% or 27%. I hope you come around at 50, 60% because Biden is an idiot. His whole team is an idiot. They didn't give us proper jobs. They didn't help our economy. They put us in bigger debt and they're too busy blaming Trump. Whatever Trump did, whatever Obama done, it's passed. Now you're the new president. Fix it. You promised to fix it. You promised to fix it. That's why we hired you. We understand the guy behind you. I know that I take over jobs from people and they've caused trouble. My job is to get you out of the trouble. My job is to fix it. You know, Warren Buffett, I was watching a video, was very cool. He said he has a way to solve the entire budget. That if the budget goes over limit, you fire the entire Congress. Fire them. They didn't do their job right. Let's hire a new one. You must fire them. Brilliant. You'll see how the Congress stays in place. Giving themselves raises. They have apartments. They have stipends. I mean, you're talking hundreds of millions. I'm talking billions of dollars are going just for politicians' elections and stimulus programs and housing programs for them. I don't understand. Politician is supposed to be somebody that wants to do good, that wants to change America. I know that we should only elect the rich. Fine. You know what? We elect the rich to be politicians and we don't pay them a salary. So we only have the good ones. Oh, so you think now when you get elected, they're only going to give their friends business? Well, watch them. They still have the same rules that if they give contracts out or do illegal stuff to their friends, they go to jail. Oh, nobody will ever run for office if we don't pay. Trust me, in America, there's so many good people. How many people in Congress? 400 or 500 people? How many people in the Senate? 50 people in the Senate? One president?
Danny Homeless Guy.
Anyways, this is my issue to you. We need to change the system. Somebody that wants to run for office, you're right, he has to have money. Or we pay him a prevailing wage like anybody else. You don't pay him more. Don't pay him more than the cop. He doesn't want the job, don't do the job. These are jobs that are honorary jobs. These are jobs that you have to do out of activism. Out of doing good. Charity work. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. To do charity. That's why you want to be a politician. I don't need the salary. Donald Trump became president and he didn't take the salary. You can make money afterwards. Come out of office, look what I've done, become our board of directors, get a better job. Use what you've shown that you could do and use your experience to get a better job. Go into office for 4 years. Go into office for 2 years. This is unacceptable. The way this country, so many things could be changed. We have to use our heads. The founding fathers created this country to improve our lives. Pursuit of happiness. What is that? What are those words? There's nothing there to give us the right to pursue our happiness. And our government doesn't allow us to pursue our happiness. How many agencies can one company have? 312 government agencies in New York. And then in that agencies, you have sub-agencies. And one agency doesn't have to listen to another agency. And the commissioner is scared of his worker because the worker might scream at the commissioner. The Department of Investigation loses your paperwork. When I filed paperwork, they said, well, I didn't submit it. So they denied me on some activities or licenses. I said, but it's not true. I have the evidence. I was fined $1,100 by Campaign Finance Board a couple years ago because I submitted all my paperwork. They wanted a copy of a statement. I said to them, well, I have to go to the bank and get it. No, you can get it emailed. I tried. I couldn't get it. They didn't have it. Whatever. I finally got a copy of it. Now, remember, I submitted all this. I had proof of it, but it was lost. You know what they did? They fined me $1,100 because I didn't submit it quick enough, because I did find it at the end. So when I was sitting there questioning, I said, but I did submit it, and it was a statement. Well, during the campaign, if you didn't tell us what you were doing and how spending the money, so we were scared. I said, but they asked for the statement 2 years later. It wasn't during the campaign. Why are you fining me? Because I didn't jump quick enough? It takes the city of New York Campaign Finance Board to close out a campaign that I'm running now 3 years. That means when the campaign is over, I have to have enough money left over for me to do audits that the campaign is closed. I filed every single filing every month. I submit the paperwork. It's not only me. And they keep you open. They keep you running, so it costs you more money, and it gives them work to do while there's no elections going on. It gives these workers to do till the next campaign. Election day is one day of the year. To set up the election, really, to take the voting booths out and back, they don't do it. Do you know we have to pay these volunteers who go out to be election campaign people $400-500 a day, to what I understand. And listen to this best part. They get paid 9 days before and 2 days later. Why? All I need you there is for election day. 2 days before, maybe practice, teach them. But they shouldn't get paid. This is a volunteer job. They make more money. They make like $1,000 or $2,000 than some of them in their job for a whole month. Housewives, not that I have a problem with that. But these are not people that know the system. They only know how the voting thing works. Full-time employees that sit there. I walk into the Board of Elections. Half of them are sitting there half a day doing nothing. We waste our city's money. We waste our country's money. We don't stand together. I scream at you people to stand together. I want to talk about international stuff. The war in Israel. I watched the video, and I'm sure you all know about, we spoke about it last week, of girls that were captured by Hamas. Tied up, beaten. You saw the faces bloody. They wouldn't even have the nerve to clean their faces, put them on video. Calling them names, and these names were called basically sex slaves. We know they're there. We're finding bodies left and right dead in tunnels. Hamas is not willing to make a deal with Israel unless we retreat, unless we give up and cease fire. What does that mean? You started the war. You took our prisoners. We said we're willing to even stop and cease fire. We want our prisoners back. They're dying in your hands. What, you're going to give us back 10, 20 prisoners when you have 100-something of our hostages? You start a war, you kill our people, so you take hostages and say, hey, we did our thing. Now we have hostages till you say we're not going to fight back. Of course we're going to fight back. You come after my family. You come after my family. You come after my family. I'm coming back to you. I'm coming for you. Israel, destroy Rafah. Destroy it. Destroy him. I believe you should destroy the whole Palestinian state. Destroy it. Take it over. Conquer it. What are you going to do with those 9 million people? Throw them out. I don't care. Expel them. They had their chance to have a country. They don't want it. They want to live in squalor. There are people who want to live in squalor. There's more food. Everybody's saying that we're starving the Palestinians. Did you ever go to their food markets? Are you watching the videos? I did. I was there. They have food flying all over the place. Food's coming in. They don't even have to work because they're getting food from all over the place. The president of France is calling for a ceasefire. Why don't you go to Gaza, man? Why don't you go and see? Why don't you get back one of our hostages? The international court wants the arrest of Netanyahu and his people. Why don't you arrest Putin? You know, Israel has like 400 soldiers that were killed, and about, I don't know, what was it, 24 to 40,000 Palestinians, and 15,000 of them were soldiers of the Hamas terrorists. Now, in Ukraine, you have about 20,000 soldiers of the Russian dead, maybe more. You have 100,000 of the Ukrainians dead. Nobody's saying a word. Nobody's calling for international crimes. Nobody's arresting Putin. Why? Why is that? You're so scared of him? Because he'll have you killed? He'll come after you? Double standard. I'm not scared of Putin. I don't care what Putin does to Ukraine. I feel bad that there's a war going on for no reason. I promise you guys, I'm telling you guys, the second President Trump gets into office, if you allow him into office, he will stop that war in Ukraine. He's going to make a call. He says, Putin, let's have a chat. Biden didn't do that. Let's have a chat. What do you want? You want back? He's going to go over to Zelensky and say, listen, guy, you're losing the war, man. This is what he wanted from the beginning. All this trouble that you caused, you could have just made a deal. And you know what the deal was? Not even to give back really land for the Crimea. It was not to join NATO. What do you have to join NATO for? You never were part of NATO. Be part of the European Union first. Produce for the world. Show something for the world. You want to be part of NATO? You want an army? That's all you guys want. Army and war and tanks and guns. We want to stop the nuclear weapons. We want to stop guns on the street. We want to take away guns from the whole New York City. People are going after their licenses because they're scared. I want you to stop all weaponry. I want this world to be a better place. We have so much food in the world that we can feed the whole world. Look what happened in India. We're able to do it. We just don't want to. We want people to suffer. We want the population to decline. I don't know why. And I was watching something today. They were saying that the population of America has gone down by 2%. And we're not growing. Okay. We're not growing because a lot of the parents are scared. Or you're killing us out. You're giving us vaccines. Cancer is up. How is that possible? I don't know. Heart conditions with all the medicines and technology we have. Something's going down. This vaccine really, really hurt us. I mean, you saw the world was shut down by a couple of losers. George Soros, I wish I'd see him on the street. I can't say I want to kill him or run him over because it's illegal, but I wish something happens to this man. He's 80, 90 years old, and he's still trying to control the world. Get away from us. Give it to us. We know what we're doing. Bill Gates, you made hundreds of billions of dollars. Nobody wants your advice. Let us run the world. You made your money. You did your computers. We got you. You're not qualified for vaccines. You're not a doctor. You're not a builder. You're not a contractor. You're not an architect. And you're giving your advice to the world. You're a dropout of college. And look at you. So you made money. Amazon. Here's a guy with the richest man in the world. And what is he doing? What is he doing? Divorcing his wife, giving his wife, playing around, taking videos. Good. Enjoy yourself. Don't mix into our politics. Robert De Niro, you've never done anything besides movies or given back to society. Now you have suggestions? I don't know. Donald Trump got up, put himself on the line. He could have gone away. He could have gone away after the first election. He could have gone away before even the first presidency. He didn't have to run. Would have had his money, been quiet, play with the taxes. God forbid Hillary Clinton, who hid emails. Who knows what other things she did. Bill Clinton, her husband, cheating with a woman in the White House and lying about it. When you lie, you go to jail. Under oath. He got away with it. And he did it in the Oval Office. Oh my God. A disgrace. I want America to be better. I want New York City to be better. I want our families, cohesive units to be better. I want to help our children. There's so many issues of suicides, of people being sick in the hospital, of money being abused. And I'm not talking your salary. People are barely making it from week to week. And we have hundreds of billions. We have trillions of dollars. Trillions of dollars being spent. Nobody's looking it over. None of these people are qualified. They're not really accountants. They're not really lawyers. They're not forensics. You have the IRS that is busy screwing us and getting our money. They're not even helping us. I want to say goodbye to my listeners at WSNR, WPVID, and WNEW-FM. And quickly, we'll do a quick commercial. Green Line Building Consultants, please call me if you need any help with your buildings or violations. 718-871-0382. 718-871-0382. And before you go off the air, HeshyTishler.com. Donate. Go. Heshy Tishler. Tischler. Heshy. Join me. Donate. Help me. I could use the help. I could use the help, people. I hope you're watching. I hope you're listening. I hope we need your help. Anyways, Donald Trump fired back at De Niro. And you know what he told him? I'm going to end it. Donald Trump called Robert De Niro a wacko. Really? I mean, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Robert De Niro? Susan Sarandon. Here's a woman that is so dumb, who sleeps with everything that moves, and she's helping the Palestinians. Go to Gaza. Go collect money for them. I want to see you go there. You go to Gaza and I'll support you. Walk in there. Why don't you march with them? Why don't you go over there and bring them food? Help them build their stuff. Why don't you protest in front of the Israeli soldiers and say, stop, soldiers? You'll see the soldiers will stop if you go there. Nobody stood up for the Palestinians. They stand up over here for it because they're getting some kind of money. They're getting something, both sides. The war in Israel is a correct war. You killed people. You raped people. I can maybe forgive you because you wanted to kill. You're a murderer. You wanted to rape a woman because you're a low-life, Palestinian, Middle Eastern, uneducated, filthy animal. Got it. There are people like you belong in jail. But to take little babies and put them in the oven, to cut open a woman who's pregnant, take the baby out in front of her husband and kill her, that is normal? A UNRWA worker, United Nations worker, was seen helping the Palestinian Hamas and with a hostage. Helping hide a hostage. Explain that to me. He should be up on international court charges as a war criminal. Mike Johnson, I'm so proud of you. You invited Netanyahu here to speak in front of Congress. And I know what's going to happen. Some idiots are going to get up. Some are going to get down. I hope he points a finger at that stupid congresswoman and say, listen, you stupid witch, you're an idiot. I would do it. When I get into city council, I'm going to get up. I'm going to point my finger at every councilman that doesn't do a good job or talks bad about anybody, the blacks, the Jews, the Asians, anything. But I don't care about the world. I'm going to care about New York City because right now we have a lot of issues here. And God forbid I bump into AOC. Oh, is she going to get it? Oh, am I going to give her a hard time and heckle? I will go after her one after the next, after every time I see her. It's been great talking to you. I hope you listen to what I have to say. And somebody asked me a question, how is Tom? Tom is good. I spoke to him today. He's going to be helping me with the election. He's starting to make phone calls. He's busy with his show, building up his show. I miss Tom myself. I hope he comes back. And if he doesn't come back, what should I tell you? I'm here. Why? Because it's the Just Enough Heshy show. And I love talking to you guys. I love giving you my opinions. I'll give you constant updates. And I'm hoping that you, this week, when I come back to the show next week, Trump will be vindicated. Trump will be let go. And then he wins the election. And then he can stop all this craziness and stop it, all this federal prosecution against him. The only one you have is in Georgia, and I hope he punishes them. You know, you have a judge, a Supreme Court judge, that flew his flag upside down. His wife had a right to do whatever she wanted. And here's another thing. How is the Supreme Court backlogged? What's wrong? Rule on the cases. Don't have your clerks write it up. How hard is it to hear a case? Because you only give each side like 15, 20 minutes. Do the case, listen to it, and go to the next case. You know how many cases I do a week? How many people I see a week with issues? How many people I advise? Come on. Why is the Supreme Court backed up? We gave you a lot of 9 people. We give you clerks. We give you money. We give you a team. We give you offices. You have so much help. There's no reason. And the people doing research. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Come back next week. And yes, I am making that wedding September 5th. I'm planning it out. My son has a beautiful registry. If you ever go to my status in WhatsApp, you'll be able to see the registry and donate to him or whatever. Buy him a gift. You don't have to. I make sure I'm going to buy the whole registry. Watch my show. Play the music. I guess they'll play the music. I don't know when, but they'll play it.